Okay. Hi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's kind of a quiet Shabbat. The holidays are all over and it's starting to get dark and cold a little bit, and some people wonder whether or not they want to leave their homes on a Friday night, even though it's an early service. And so what we do is, I was taught by Jacob Rader Marcus. Now I have to tell you a story for 30 seconds, and I know that's going to put us behind, but thank you for tolerating me. Rabbi Jacob Rader Marcus was born in Connellsville, and he invented the field of American Jewish history. There was no American Jewish history before him. He actually was the person who actually started the American Jewish Archives, and he had something called tenure. Now, tenure is when you're at a long time at a university and they can't fire you. His tenure was when he started teaching at Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati in 1920, and he retired in 1997. That's called tenure. And he said, in 1989 in Cincinnati, one of the last times it was in Cincinnati that had a gathering of rabbis, he said, when you're in your pulpit Friday night, don't count bodies, count souls. You are all infinitely worthwhile, irreplaceable. And so we're going to start tonight with a song that's very old. And we're going to see if we can get our visual tefillah to work. Everything we do before
working.
Baruch
I just need someone to switch the slide.
What?
It's working. I just don't have the clicker with me right this second.
You mean the kvetcher? That's what we call it in my house. You want the kvetcher? Here it is. Yedid Nefesh is a love song. And I want to sing you the melody, even if you don't know the Hebrew. All of Kabbalat Shabbat is about love. It is about the loving partner. It is about the bride. It is about the angels that we love. It goes like this. I want to give you the nigun. It goes like this. Hi, Allison.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Now, if this was a performance, you would look at us and smile approvingly. We have sung nicely. We've smiled at you. We've even kept on melody. And we're even in tune. But that's not good enough. What we do is we create community, and that can only be done by your voices. And if you don't know the words, that's why we're doing a nigun, a song without words. So you'll do the nigun, and then we'll go into the melody with the words. Da 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 Now, if you know the old melody, it goes like this. Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman Mishoch Avdecha El Ritzonecha Yaharutz Avdecha Kimo Hayal Ishtachaveh El Mul Hadarecha Yerav Lo Yedudotecha Mino Fetzu. Here's Here's your part. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Give it a try. Da 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 da. The Polito family has front row seats because Alex is being bar mitzvah tomorrow. Why don't you bring your family up on the pulpit for the candles and the kiddush? And Rabbi Gorba, why don't you join them up there? It's our custom to rise as you are able as we enter Shabbat with the lighting of candles and the celebration of wine. And the words are all right there.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shavad kodsho be'avra uratzon hinkilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemekra kodesh zecher letiyot mitzrayim Kivanu racharta ve'atanu kidashta mikol amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat.
Amen.
It's just juice. Give some to your folks. Everyone have a seat, please. The traditional Kabbalat Shabbat comprises Psalms 95 through 99 to welcome Shabbat and includes passages from the Psalm for the Sabbath day, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, and Lecha Dodi, which we'll do in a minute. So this is kind of a rousing L'Rechuna Ranana. What we'll do is you guys can get roused, right? L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Adonai. L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Adonai. Naria, Naria, L'Tzur Yishenu, Nekadma Fana B'Toda. Naria, Naria, L'Tzur Yishenu, Bizmirot Nal. Oh, L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Adonai. L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Chune Ranana, L'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena haladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena haladonai. Are the words that are English too small to see? Come, be joyous. That's the whole deal, okay? And I know it's getting dark outside, but be joyous. Your smile is the light against the darkness. So this particular next version of Lecha Dodi actually comes to us from BJ. Does anybody know what BJ is? B'nai Jeshurun in New York? You know it. In the last verse, we'll all rise and face the rear. In the last line of the last verse, Boi Kala, we'll bow there. Maybe the bride will come in from the Krieger entrance, or maybe from the parking lot, who knows? Every night is different. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, 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 b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalala, 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nekabela Shamor Bezachor Bedibor Echad Ishmiyanu Ehel Hamyuchad Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shem Ultiferet Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lechu B'necha Ki Hi Mekor HaBaracha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh B'machshava Tchila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri Hitoreri Kiva Oreh Kumiori Uri Uri Shida Beri Kavod Adonai Alayich Nigla Lecha Dodi. Please rise and face the rear. B'nei Shabbat. The words are up to the right. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat. Nekabela Boi V'Shalom Materet Bala Gam Besimcha U'Betzola Tov Emunei Am Sigu. We bow to the left. Boi Chala to the right. Boi Chala Dosi Do Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. The Psalm for the Sabbath day, we'll read the beginning in English and sing the last part in Hebrew to a tune that's 140 years old, and yet it's still gorgeous. So let's read together. A psalm.
A song for Shabbat.
Liz and Josh.
It's good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night, with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know this. A fool cannot understand this.
Tzadikata Marifra Keherez Balvanon Yezker Shetolim Bevet Adonai Befazrod Eloheinu Yafrihu Odinu B'Sema B'Sheni Yashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Havlatamo. I have a question. How many of you here, younger or old, went to EKC or Emma Farm? Raise your hands. A couple of you. Over the last 10 years, there's a Shalom Aleichem that they do here that involves using your body, using finger claps. I'm going to turn it over to Cantor Berman to help us learn this. If you've done it before, it's the way we've... Yes, Rachel knows. Yeah.
If any of you know it, right, you can come on up and help lead. Okay? So it's the one with the fingers, right? Sorry, my mic is giving me problems. So we're going to start with one finger, and then we're going to work our way up to the whole hand. We're going to start quietly, and we'll build the sound just as we'll add the sound from our fingers until a full clap. So we'll also build to a full voice. We're going to start quietly as we ask the angels, we summon those angels, request that they come and spend Shabbat with us and help to bring some of that heavenliness into the Shabbat that we all make together. Ready? Shalom Aleichem. You can come on up.
Malachei Hasharei. Malachei. Like this. Na 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 na. Mi melech. Malachei Hamlachim. Hakadosh Baruch. Na 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 na. Boachem l'shalom.
A little louder.
Malachei Hashalom. Malachei
Yo na 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 na. Mi melech.
Malachei Hamlachim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Na 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 na. Baruchuni l'shalom.
Make your voice match a little louder.
Malachei Hashalom. Malachei
Play.
Yo
Na 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 na.
Mi melech.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Malachei Hamlachim.
1, 2.
Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Na 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 na. Zeitchem l'shalom. Malachei Hashalom. Malachei Yo na 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 na. Mi melech. Malachei Hamlachim. Hakadosh Baruch.
Hold your hand.
Na 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 na. Shalom Aleichem.
Watch for the cutoff.
Malachei Hasharit. Malachei Yo na 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 na. Mi melech. Malachei Hamlachim. Hakadosh Baruch Hu.
As you are able, please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish, ending this part of our service, leading to the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash merabah.
Amen.
Yelemad yivrach chirutei v'yamelich machutei. B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael.
Bagala, bagala, ubizman karev. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Olam Le'olmaya, Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Rekudesham
B'richu.
Li'ela min kol berchata v'shirata
Tush b'chata v'nechemata, Damira Yoma. Amen.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Roll into dark,
Roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch
Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
So that first prayer is about the sun, the moon, and the stars, giving thanks that we have an orderly universe where we can count on every day the sun coming up and then leaving. And then the next prayer before the Shema is one that gives thanks to God for loving us enough to give us the rules by which we should live. We live in a world where people seem to have no rules sometimes, and thank God we have Torah. This beautiful melody was written by a wonderful woman who's no longer with us named Debbie Friedman. It goes like this. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, uv'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach m'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam balayla, nege yomam balayla. Ve'avadcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Please rise as you are able for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Roshem kivod malchuto leolam va'ed.
Please be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לדודפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We join together in an interpretation of what we just chanted. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy to God. I am Adonai, your God, who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God.
Adonai Elohechem.
Emet.
That's not what's up there right now.
It's a good thing we say this enough.
So we're going to reboot. What are we going to do?
We are going to be reboot, but for right now, why don't we just go and sing Mecha Mocha, which
Well,
can be found on
page 40 in your prayer book. Wait. Thank you. This is what we've sung this in this school for 30 years. And if you sing it right, we'll finally get it down. It's in a round. We're going to try both parts, and then you guys, Allison, you're going to hold down your end over here, right? 1, 2, ready, and Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora terehilot, Osef eleh. Oh, just my side. You're failing. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora terehilot. Oh, Sefele, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So if you turn the page, on the left-hand side, what page number is that?
42 and 43.
There is a poet and songwriter in our movement who said, you know, these are beautiful readings on the left side of the page, and they never get sung. So he put them to music, and he called the album The Left Side of the Page. So if you look at the top words, these are the beautiful interpretive words of Hashkivenu, which ask that we lie down at night and wake up to renewed life in the morning. It goes like this. If you can see on page 42. 1, 2, ready. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. It's pretty easy. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter. And here's the Hebrew. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkiveinu Leshalom. Let there be love. Let there be love. And who doesn't want love and understanding? Come on, guys. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life. 42 at the top. Let there be love. It's right in front of you. And understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. No guitar. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Last time. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. At the bottom of the page, you find the Chatimah, the sealing Hebrew phrase.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Alex.
Come on up, right here. Got a mic and everything. And you're tall. There. So you ready?
We're on page 44.
44.
Or 162.
And this is the Torah command in chapter 31, 16 to 17 of Exodus, that Shabbat is ours forever. And just pick a good key and we'll sing along.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'doratam b'ri olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'doratam b'ri olam. B'nei uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam, od hi le'olam, od hi le'olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'doratam b'ri olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'doratam b'ri olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat le'doratam b'ri olam.
Hey, that's all you're doing tonight except for one more thing. Joey Breslau's going to come up. We didn't know if you're going to get enough presents to write thank you notes. We want to start you in on presents early, okay? And the presents from the congregation. Joey, introduce yourself if you would, please.
Hi, I'm Joey.
Hi, Joey.
And hi. The really cool thing about being bar mitzvahed is that it is not an ending. And hopefully, it won't be for you and anyone who is bar mitzvahed. It is really also a beginning and an entrance into being a teen in Temple Sinai. And so on behalf of Party, I wanted to give you this Party shirt.
Wait. Let's see how it looks. There. And what does Party stand for, Joey?
Pittsburgh Area Reformed Temple Youth.
There,
Rabbi
right.
Gibson. And it is a wonderful shirt. And yeah, it's beautiful.
And we hope that you'll come to party events and you'll be informed about them. And we'll just want to make sure that we stay in touch with you long past tomorrow and you finishing not only all the prayers that you're doing in the Torah and the Dvar Torah, but all your thank you notes as well. You got people like Joey to learn from, not just rabbis. And by the way, that was a great rabbi speech right there. You're accepted if that's what you want to do. Okay? So everybody say Yesher Koach to him. Say Yesher Koach.
Yesher Koach.
There we go.
And this is the moment of truth.
Oh my gosh, it works. And Dale Lazar's grandson is so happy about it. It's great.
Right, he's opening his mouth in prayer. So I invite you to rise as we begin the core prayers of our service, the Amidah, with this meditation, this intention from Psalm 51.
Satai Tivtah Ananana Ufi Yagid Tehila Techa Ananana Adonai Tivtah Ananana Ufi Yagid Tehila Techa Ufi Yagid Tehila Techa Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Imahot U'Mevii Geula Livnei B'neihem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayeh kol atarav lehoshia Mashib haruach u'morida Hashem Mechalkel chaim b'chesed Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim U'matir asurim U'mekayem emunato Mishenei afar Michamocha b'gevurot U'mino melach Melech nemir U'mechayeh U'matzliach Yeshua V'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalaluch haselah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. We join together in a blessing for Shabbat. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer to life, to peace, and to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness. Restrain our thirst for excess and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw nearer in life, in peace, and in joy. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We ask God to accept our prayers we join together. Be gracious, Adonai our God, to your people, and receive our prayers with love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst. Praised are you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. This is a new song. It's actually from a woman named Beth Schaefer, a marvelous California singer-songwriter.
She's actually in Atlanta, but...
What?
She's actually in Atlanta.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know her from California. But thank you for the correction. Say the word modim.
Modim.
Mit enthusiasm, please. Modim.
Modim.
Anachnu.
Anachnu.
Lach. Which means, Rabbi Gorban?
We gratefully acknowledge you.
Right. It's a pretty simple melody, and if you don't get the Hebrew, the English is coming up. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Try that again. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. I will give thanks for the sunshine. I will give thanks for the rain. I will give thanks for the good times. Pray they come again. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. I will give thanks for my life. I will give thanks for your love. I will give thanks for your goodness. You know I never Modim. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu last time. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Modim anachnu lach. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh
lehodot. We offer a prayer for peace. We join together. Ruler of the universe, let there be no hope that is not a command. Let there be no prayer which does not become a deed. Upon this earth may reverent and righteous nations arise, where each person matters and poverty and injustice are challenged. Upon this earth may people of spirit arise, people of character and compassion, with open hearts and ready hands. We ask for a new age of wisdom and love, truly to be your reign on earth. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, bashalom. With all of these prayers that we have said and sung together, we still haven't really taken the time to offer the prayers that we don't share with even the people sitting right next to us. And so I invite you now to offer the prayer of your hearts.
Oseh shalom bimromah, Uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom. יעשה שלום עלינו והכל יעבור ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום עמנו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום עמנו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל We never let an opportunity go by without a mishaberach of healing for those who are not well enough to be with us tonight, and we carry in our hearts. We know who they are, every single one of you, as somebody who is not well, not whole, or broken in some way. And so we think of those who are in hospitals and clearly terrified about what might happen in the next day or two, and those who are in nursing homes, maybe even away from this city, facing a long weekend without even one visitor, or those who simply walk the earth with a stone in the heart, who face the daily battles of sobriety. We not only sing for their healing, if when I look at your part of the congregation, you would like to share a name of somebody for whom you wish healing and add it to the collective heart tonight, you might do that. Or you might say the name softly, or you might say amen to each of the verses. You might let the prayer just wash over you. The only rule is when I look at part of the congregation, don't raise your hand. Class is over for the weekend. And anybody you wish to have healing prayed for them, please just call the name out loud. Walt Rudolph, Goldie Ottenheimer, Eleanor Bloom, Violet Marcus,
Michael Yaakov Ben Chana, Judge Brunel, Chava Batili, Mifena.
Mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberachim Otenu Mikor habracha leimotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal renewal of spirit, and let us say,
When I was in college, I was able to use my AP credit to pass out of the intro bio class, which was for non-majors. But since that course was required for my sociology of health and illness major, I had to take an extra science elective. I love science, don't get me wrong. It was great, especially biology and genetics, but most of the interesting courses required prereqs that didn't fit into my schedule. So I settled on a course called Genes, Culture, and History. It was officially a science class, but it was cross-listed with the Judaic Studies department, so I could sneak in a Judaic Studies class without my parents knowing. My classmates and I affectionately called it Jews for Genes. The course was pretty light on actual science, but we covered a lot of really cool sociological and anthropological research that has its basis in genetics. We tracked migrations based on genetic markers, some on the Y chromosome found in male DNA, and some found in mitochondrial DNA, which is passed from mother to child, and some by tracking genetic diseases. We then compared those possible migration patterns with to those based on linguistic connections and other sorts of really interesting, fascinating trends. Sometimes we found corroborating evidence in historical documentation as well, and sometimes we were left with just hypotheses of how people moved across the earth. Our final assignment for the course was a family tree project. I was fascinated by the idea of tracing migrations, and I have a well-documented family tree. I actually forgot to bring the book down from upstairs that traces my mother's side back to the 1400s. So that's what I researched. It turns out that my ancestors have been kicked out of or fled from a lot of places. Thankfully, my ancestors haven't been refugees in more than 100 years. But in the 1880s and 90s, all 16 of my great-great-grandparents and some of their children had to flee various parts of Eastern Europe due to the pogroms. My maternal grandfather's paternal grandfather, don't worry if you didn't track that, was able to get to safety in America by pretending to be the only child of a maiden aunt. She adopted him so that he wouldn't have to be conscripted into the Tsar's army, which was essentially a death sentence. On my father's side, his great-grandparents came to pre-state Israel to build up a homeland from which Jews would never have to flee again. Their children and grandchildren, that's the generation of my grandparents and great-grandparents, fought to ensure that Jewish refugees of the Holocaust and other areas of danger had a safe haven in a Jewish country. Those are just the recent ones. My family tree records ancestors who fled the expulsion and Inquisition in Spain. And though I think that some of this is legend, my family tree has roots that go back to Jews who were forced out of the land of Israel by the Romans in 70 CE, and even back to the Babylonian exile in 586 before the Common Era. And since the line that's easiest to trace is the line of Levites, it means that my ancestors must have fled slavery and oppression in Egypt. Every handful of generations has suffered persecution that has turned my ancestors into refugees. I would not be here if not for my ancestors' courage and perseverance. I also would not be here if not for the cities and nations that gave my ancestors refuge when their lives were imperiled. And I would not be here if not for the people who helped them find footing in a new land with a new language and a new culture. We, thankfully, are among the generations of Jews that get to reside and thrive in relative safety. We enjoy many privileges because our basic human rights are met. But many in our world today don't even have that basic human right of living in a safe environment. They leave everything behind. their homeland, their birthplace, their family, to start from scratch in a place where everything is different, just to seek security. We know the heart of the refugee. It's in our blood, it's in our DNA, and yet we're not doing enough. We have not decried with full voice the lowered caps on refugee resettlement. In 2 years, our country has gone from opening our arms to up to 110,000 refugees to limiting resettlement to 30,000 or fewer. Not because there are fewer people seeking asylum, but because strangers are not welcome here. We have not come together to stand up against increasing restrictions on those who apply for resettlement or seek asylum in our country. A new proposal for restrictions on those who can seek asylum includes criminalizing those who do not come through an established port of entry, a rejection of gang violence and domestic abuse as a legitimate cause for seeking asylum, and banning anyone who has traveled for more than 2 weeks or passed through more than one country. That last restriction is literally how most people flee. They travel for more than 2 weeks or pass through more than one country, not by hopping on a direct flight from wherever they live to the US. They use any means necessary to get out of a dangerous situation, and we have to stand up. My friend and rabbinical school classmate, Rabbi Rachel Grant-Meyer, is the education director at HIAS. See, this is a project of HIAS. The initials of HIAS once stood for the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, but now the organization serves immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers of all races, nations, and ethnicities. It's an organization that probably helped some of my ancestors, and one that is essential to the work that has to be done today. Rabbi Rachel Grant-Meyer wrote a beautiful reminder of the work we must do based on the prayer that we'll say in just a little bit, the prayer Aleinu. She wrote it in honor of this National Refugee Shabbat. Aleinu, it was on us. It was on us from the moment our ancestors were first forced to leave home, charged with transforming their wandering into a blessing for all people. It has been on us since that wandering became encoded in our DNA, from Avram ha'ivri, Abram, the one who crossed over, to ha'ivrim, the Jewish people. All of us inheriting the legacy of centuries of crossing from one home to another. As our people became a refugee people, we took on the sacred responsibility to see our story as bound up with the stories of all who continue to wander. Aleinu, it was on us. Aleinu, it is on us. Love the stranger as you would love yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt, God said. To advocate for a world in which the 68 million people who flee for their lives can find protection and a place to call home. To stand with those who leave nightmarish situations only to undertake nightmarish journeys so that they may exercise their legal right to find protection in these United States. To cry out for the families who are separated from one another, detained without an end in sight, babies calling for parents who may never see them again. To speak up when those in power shut the doors of our country to victims of violence and persecution, to stay outraged from a place of love rather than hate, from a place of welcome rather than exclusion. These too are our obligations without measure. Aleinu, it is on us. We know the cost of making any other choice, of demurring from the holy task of transforming our wandering into blessing. As we pray to the source of freedom, with visions of a repaired world in our minds and the commitment to fulfill these visions on our tongues and our fingertips, Aleinu, it will always be on us. To remember that there is no us and there is no them, that there are only God's children, and that each is deserving of blessings of liberty and justice. Kin Yireh Ratzon.
I think it's on. We have a thing we do every third Friday, and we ask, if you're here for this month and it's your birthday, come on up and get a blessing, and we have Israeli candy for you, with Israeli chocolate. Anybody, come on, October birthdays. Come on, Mark. Here we go. Come on, Matthew. Come on, Bill.
Just stand right in front. You won't have to force for it.
Stand right up here.
Oh, okay. Let's say if they stand here, then we'll have a force.
Make a line. And okay, here's the deal. You're going to say your name. You're going to say which day of the month is your birthday. And if you dare, share your age, right?
Why not? Darcy Gordon, the 4th, and I'm 52.
Mark Beck, October 7th, 54.
Matthew Schwartz, October 27th, and I'll be 35.
Matt, 22nd. I'm the 22nd also.
27th.
Oh, 27th. Okay. 22nd. Bill Jones.
And you're some age.
I'm 66.
Wonderful.
I will be.
So we're going to offer a quick blessing. Eloheinu v'Eloheinu v'Imotenu, our God of our mothers and God of our fathers. May these people who stand in front of this loving community know that they are precious. May they know that every year they live on God's earth, they become more wise and they become more fulfilled with the possibility of blessing and opening their arms and being embraced by others. May this embrace be loving and caring and always there when you need it. May you know that you are living blessings to all of us, and we wish only good things for you this Shabbat and your entire birthday month. As together we say,
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lahazman hazeh. We have a colleague here, Rabbi Steve Steindel is here. He lives like 2 doors down. So when he doesn't want to schlep all over Squirrel Hill for Kabbalat Shabbat, he comes here, and we're always delighted when you are here. And hopefully you'll be with us afterwards as well. We do ice cream afterwards, and then for our younger adults, because I've been forbidden from ever saying the word millennial again, I want you to know that, by fiat, that they gather at 8:30 for their after-hours gathering with wine and cheese upstairs, and we hope that people will assemble for that as well. Just a couple announcements. We are so delighted every week to mention that our cantorial position is supported by Edgar Snyder, and we're so delighted that because of his generosity, we're able to have full cantorial music here. The Oneg is sponsored by the Polito family in honor of Alex's bar mitzvah, which means tomorrow at 9:15 is Minyan upstairs in the Bartlett Chapel, 10:30 bar mitzvah down here, and I'll be down here for Torah service to be with you, okay? And Sunday, we have an extraordinary opportunity. There is a nationally known New York Times opinion columnist named Barry Weiss, who's a Pittsburgher, whose parents, Jack and Andy, belong to this, Jack and Andy, the grandparents, they belong here. Lou and Amy belong here as well. And there's a Brotherhood brunch, food there, and then we're going to move the pulpit. We're going to sit down and have a conversation about things that she writes about so seriously. You know how seriously she writes? She is hated by the right and the left, so you know she's doing something right. So there are still spaces available. Please check it online. Come here. I think we start at 9:30 or so, and the program will start within an hour after breakfast. We hope that we'll have the opportunity for not only me to ask questions, but you to ask questions as well. And then next Friday night, Shabbat evening services at 7 o'clock, and we have a special program called Shabbat in the Home. We call it by its Hebrew name, Shabbat Babayit. And this month, somebody's opening their home, and up to 25 lucky people are invited over for dessert and drinks and coffee and apparently really good whiskey. So if you want to be in Shabbat, there's a limit of 25. If you want to be in Shabbat Babayit, call the office on Monday and reserve your place. We'll give you the address. It's a Squirrel Hill address, but we cannot simply open it to the community because they can't handle more than 25. So next week, Shabbat Babayit, Shabbat in the Home, and services here at 7 o'clock. And so with that, we're going to move. Oh, excuse me. Will you get up and talk about your hike? We talked about this at Kol Nidre.
Yes, so we spoke about, or Rabbi Gibson spoke about this at Kol Nidre with my picture up on the screen, that there will be periodic hikes on Shabbat for young adults. And so our first one is going to be next Saturday. We're going to gather at 10, and I'm going to verify the address, but it's on the south side.
And where you going?
There's a big giant park in Hayes.
You're going to see the eagles in Hayes, I hope. You know, there are eagles up there.
I did not.
Oh, see, maybe? Okay. So we're going to ask Ken Burma to come back. Our final prayers start with that word that was so beautifully spoken about called Aleinu. And as you are able, we'll ask you to rise.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם.
ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו It's our custom as we observe Yartzites that those who are actually saying Kaddish for their relatives, when your relative is named, you stand so we can recognize you as a mourner. At the end of the list of Yartzites and those who died more recently, we'll all stand together so no mourner should ever feel that they are standing alone. This week we especially remember the names of Carl Beck, Edgar Baru, Ruth Bishop and Paul Butters, Carol Kaplan, Faye Cohen and James Cook, Harry Dana and Nat Diamondstone, Lester Dreyfus, Yetta Ellikin and Marvin Falk, Lillian Fisher, Isabel Freed, James Gallagher and Mamie Gold, Clara Goldstein, Shirley Gordon and Morris D. Grossman, Rachel Hagiag and Rose Helioff, Norman Hirsch, Bonnie Barclay Kay, Marge Krasny, Dorothy Lando, Anthony Paul McIntyre, and Leslie C. Marcus. Henry and Lena Morgan, David Nathanson, Harris Neft, and Jenny Penn. Earl John Price, Ann Morgan Rabinowitz, and Dr. Henry J. Rom. Richard Soblowski, Sam Sambol, Sylvia Schotten, Lester Robert Smith, Saul Snyder, Joseph Sonnenklar, and Leah Solomon Weinstein. And now remember those whose recent deaths we still mourn: Naomi Breslau, Chaviva Laniado, Betty Ainsman, Anne M. Sushak Cicerelli, Jerome Goldstein, Jackie Lobel, the victims of Hurricane Michael, and it's my terrible, sad duty to announce the death of Lawrence Gordon. And the info for his mourning and shiva will be announced, but his family is here tonight. Now we stand with our mourners as they say their Kaddish. Yid Kadal, Yid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'yom divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'galau v'izman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei dekudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata, damiram b'yoma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleina ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleina ve'el kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. And before we say the final words, we take this moment to dedicate a memorial plaque for Dorothy Frankel Melnick, a pillar of this congregation for decades. And we say the words of our tradition: to everything there is a season, a time for every event under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, and also a time to dedicate and a time to remember. And we remember Dorothy with love and affection and with great honor for all that she did for her family who was here, for all that she did for our community, for all she did for everyone whose lives she touched. And therefore, in the name of the family of Melnick and Frankel, we hereby dedicate this plaque in her love in her memory and her honor to Dorothy Frankel Melnick. As together we say,
Amen.
Amen. We remain standing for our final song. My dear, dear friend Debbie Friedman wrote this more than 20 years ago. So many hero stories, people go out into life and they acquire blessings, but no. Abraham was told that he, along with his wife, will be a blessing. If you know it, please join in. If you don't know it, the last line is, you shall be a blessing. It's not that hard. Lechi lach to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on a journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechi lach. The place that I will show you. L'simchat chaim, l'simchat chaim, l'simchat chaim, lechi lach. You shall be a blessing. 1, 2, ready, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Bruchim atem b'voachem, bruchim atem b'tzeitchem, me'atav olam. May you be blessed every place you come into God's world. May you be blessed every place you go out, so that you can say, Aleinu, it is on us to use our hands, our heart, to make this world better tomorrow than we found it today. As together we say,
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei minei mizonot. Praise are you, Adonai, ruler of all, who makes animal crackers and other good things that are out there. As together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.